The bye weeks are over. It's all about football all the time as we're underway here in Week 13. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And they will be led out by their 6'6" quarterback.
And this could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. What did the columnists write? Possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave what game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down. And we look at this offense now, and Zach Martin will be important for this team today.
He's so good, Brandon, that you can play him at any position in the offensive line, and I think he's a Pro Bowl player at each spot.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's 2nd and 8. And that'll be incomplete. The starters defensively now for the Seahawks. In that win last week over the Giants, they were very good.
And it was the pass rush that really keyed their victory. Got to the quarterback 6 times for sacks and plenty of other turbulence in the pocket for him as well.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Looking to throw. And that one goes incomplete on the drop. That's one he definitely normally catches. 4th down. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
So on 4th down, here's Chris Jones to punt it away. Back deep for the Seahawks, Tyler Lockett. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Seahawks now for their first possession. They'll be led out by the man who proclaims to be from a whole pack of Badgers. Came into the league back in 2012, Russell Wilson.
Well, he did go 2-2 in the last ball game. Well, actually, he went 2-2-1, with the 1 being the victory.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line there. But wasn't it funny at practice? He threw one when we were watching, threw an interception, and the defense got on him a little bit, good-naturedly. But they're letting him know, you got to cut down those interceptions. We can't bail you out all the time.
Yeah, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. But as you said, they got the win in that effort last week. And here's the starting offensive unit for Seattle.
And wide receiver Tyler Lockett continues to improve as a route runner and a playmaker downfield. But let's not forget his main use, kick returner. He knows how to break open a game in that area as well.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Wilson. Well, the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. A big play there on the catch and run. 63 yards. Excellent execution, and now they're set up nicely.
Are they ever? Red zone? I wonder what the next play call is going to be, because after a big play like that, a lot of teams like to use the momentum to launch another one.
So on the other side of the field now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got things rolling on this drive. Kamara. And this play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back to the 15. The defense showing some anger after giving up the big play. This time they'll lose 1 or 2.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game. So what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels. Because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
The second down play, not much better than the first. Just a gain of 1 there. Let's look at the defensive starters now for Dallas. They're going to need to be strong against the run in this one.
One thing players always tell us is that they never really pay attention to numbers. I don't believe them for a second. They know where they rank, okay? They're not quite at the top, but they're far from the bottom. But let's face it, they want to move up. In order to do that, they've got to look at each other and make sure everyone's taking care of their assignments in order to play the run better.
On third down, Wilson escaping the pressure right. And this is caught for a touchdown. Now hold everything here. Flag in the backfield. This one might be coming back. So erase the red zone score. They'll have to dial that one up again.
And you know how difficult it is to strike in the red zone because things are a little bit more condensed. You got to go back to their play chart and see if they can dial up another one.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long? Out of the gun, here's Wilson. And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawk touchdown. DK Metcalf with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
Now the extra point. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. This is taken at his 4. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Dallas offense now heading back out onto the field. And they'll certainly be trying to do better than that first drive where they went 3 and out.
And sometimes the first drive is just simply to settle nerves. You know what it's like at the start of a game with the emotion. Guys a little bit jumpy.
You do.
Oh, you understand the same way. It's just like us calling one, right? Making sure we ease into the game, let it come to us.
Well, you went 3
and now
and
they
out.
have that opportunity.
No, you didn't go 3 and out. I went 3 and out on that first drive. I'll try to do better here. The numbers from last week's game for Ebron: 10 catches, 87 yards.
Better tighten up the coverage if you expect to slow this guy down, because if he gets going, he'll eat you up.
2nd and 6. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Shaquille Griffin with a pick. And they get the football. They'll set up shop at their own 49-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. Off the play fake. Here's Wilson. Rolling to his right. It's caught. Lockett. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. That's a good chunk of yardage. It's going to be canceled out.
And we always talk about hidden yardage in a game. That's going to count as that, because now it doesn't go on the books, but now they have to make that up again, don't they?
Throwing is Wilson. They'll roll him out right. This complete to Lockett. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A gain of 32 that time.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great. And what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28. The numbers there for Kamara from a week ago. 15 carries, 63 yards, and a touchdown.
When you put the ball in the end zone 13 times on the season, one thing is apparent. You didn't do it all on your own. Offensive line is creating some nice space for you, and you're probably getting some good blocks downfield from your wide receivers. At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So after the run by Kamara, now another 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll be stopped after a gain of only a couple down to the 15-yard line.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
54, Mike. Check up. 54. I got you, boy. Mike, 54.
Throwing on 2nd and 8. Wilson dancing to his left. And he's going to keep it here. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
Obviously, a big play was needed, and you can see his eyes light up as he realized there's absolutely no one in front of him. And he takes off and goes a long way. Not only does he pick up a first down, but a big gain to boot.
Go, D. Let's go. Check the backer. Hey, alert.
Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Wilson hit. It's loose. It's out. Fumble. It's picked up by the Cowboys. And the return goes up to his own 17-yard line.
Well, give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but it's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
And instead of getting down, takes the contact. The turnover ensues. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. He's got to feel grateful at this point the defense was able to get the turnover and get the ball back because he threw the interception last time. Could be a 2-score deficit right now. Instead, still 1 score.
Grateful, relieved. Now he gets to turn to his offense and say, look at the gift we got from our teammates. Let's make sure we take advantage of it now. It could be, as you noted, a much bigger deficit.
I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Start of the second quarter, and it's the Cowboys in possession. He'll look to throw. They've got a 3rd down and 5 to start. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Touchdown, Cowboys. A big play there. 79 yards. As his guys can now take the lead with the extra point. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts. All right, because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This one taken just inside the 10. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Tyler Lockett trotting onto the field, getting set for this next drive. He's up near 100 yards now here in the second quarter, but his team's down.
Through no fault of his own. I mean, what a nice game he's having so far. They've got to keep finding ways to get him the football. Don't get away from that. Figure out where things are going wrong with the rest of the team.
They'll be hoping to hit that 100-yard mark on this drive. To throw again on second down. Wilson. That one going to be complete to David Moore. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 42.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
The catch and run, good for 24 yards. From the red zone now, here's Wilson on first down. He'll try and run it. And he'll be out of bounds about a half to a full yard shy of the 5. A nifty bit of scrambling there. 12 yards, first down.
That was an excellent job of recognizing the situation. His first read wasn't there. Heck, his second read wasn't there. But he bought himself a little extra time scrambling out of the pocket, got to the sticks, and picked up the first down.
2 of their 3 red zone trips so far they've come up empty on. They'll look to reverse that trend on second and goal.
Check three. Good job right there.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on first down.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Second down and goal. Wilson being chased out, and he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, his second touchdown of the game, 17th on the year. And the Seahawks are going to retake the lead. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. So now a 2-point conversion attempt coming for Wilson and the Seahawks. From the shotgun, Wilson buying time to his left. And he will find the end zone here, and the lead moves up to 7. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. They trail a 1-score deficit, 14-7, as they come up first and 10. They'll come out throwing here on first down. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they let you go.
They'll look to throw. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed, if there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces fourth down.
Let's go!
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. He's thrown for a touchdown pass, and he's run for one so far.
When you're able to watch a guy perform at a high level and do it in multiple ways, arm, legs, he really helps his team in a big way. You've got to think that they feel great about where they are in this ball game, and they feel even better about him leading their team.
Now he's hoping to put them into a better spot after this drive. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now Kamara. And this defense not giving him anything there. Maybe a yard up to the 36.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
On 2nd and 9, Wilson. Wide open receiver, complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 39. Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. Wilson going to lead his guys up 1st and 10. And he's a perfect 6 for 6 here to start the ball game. From the gun, it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence in there to drop him for his 11th sack of the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. A breakdown defensively there as the scramble is going to set him up with a much more manageable 3rd down.
Partner was a definite passing down, but he was able to leak out and pick up some good yardage, even though the coverage was excellent. Maybe it's not exactly how they drew it up, but he still got a big chunk of yardage on 2nd down.
55, mark, 55. Oh, you got
On 3rd down, Wilson. Going down the middle, and it's complete. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 22-yard line. Wilson now over 200 yards already in this first half. It's 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete. David Moore, the intended target. And now it's 2nd down. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
So after the incompletion, 2nd and 10 from the 22.
I'm coming. 25. Mike 5-4. I got one.
To throw again, Wilson. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. The Seahawks moving pretty well through the air. Another first down.
54, Mike.
Let's set a tone, fellas. Let's set a tone.
Hey. Watch out. Check, Mike, 54.
Again, Wilson. Flush to his right. He's going to take off with it. And inside the 5 here before he's out of bounds, right at the 3. He'll wind up getting right about 4 there on the scramble, and it's second down.
Looked to me like they adopted what my kindergarten teacher always said. If at first you don't succeed, try again. And finally, able to hold him in check. He'd been carving him up running the ball.
That's the first time I think I've seen where the coverage was good downfield, and they accounted for him and stopped him for a short pickup.
Yeah, I don't think it was a big adjustment, but much more emphasis on making sure they knew where he was when he decided to take off and go.
Looking to throw again on second down. Wilson. And it's a Seattle Seahawks touchdown. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dallas offense now, heading back out onto the field. And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 ticks to go in half number 1. So the big play gets them across midfield now for 1st and 10. They're going to look to throw. And a quick throw here, that's complete. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Let's go, let's bring it. Let's bring it.
2nd and 4. Drops it underneath to Elliott. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash, it's a 46-yard attempt. I don't think this will even, nope, it doesn't even get there. Well short, and this score will stay right where it is.
It's been a nightmare season. You're well under 500. Your defense hasn't really kept in a lot of games, and now it's spilling over to the kicking game. That's 3 points you've got to be able to bank on.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals, because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Mike 54. Mike 54. All right. Slide that. Hey, let's get there. 54's Mike. 54's Mike.
Final play of the half. It's Wilson. He's going to float this over the middle deep. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down. An abbreviated halftime show as we get rolling to quarter 3. The Seahawks with the advantage, and they get the football first as the second half is underway. This one taken from the 7. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Seattle now ready to march onto the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively.
And that's what this defense is going to need to do more in the second half. Good pressure that time, forces some indecision in the backfield. He's going to wind up being taken down for a nice loss.
Watch twist, watch twist, watch twist. Twist, twist. Got it, got it, got it.
They run it again with Kamara. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
I'll go special. I'll go special.
To throw is Wilson. To throw on 3rd down. Forced out to his left. He may try and run for this. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. On second down, Elliott. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards and a first down, Cowboys.
I'm okay with the call there. In fact, I actually like it. I know they're down a couple of scores, but the running game worked in that situation. I would continue to go in that direction.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a throw left sideline here is complete. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Cooper's got it. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 14 yards, good for a Cowboy first down. This quarterback now 11 of 15 through the air. Here's first and 10. Elliott. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 11 yards and a Cowboy first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Watch the pass.
They'll keep it on the ground. This time it's Gordon. Now he's tackled a yard short of the marker. Good gain of 9 on first down.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
The last run got 9. That leaves them with second and a yard. They'll run it now out of the gun. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. A gain of just a yard, but it's a first down.
I hope we give enough respect to the big guys up front because they have been getting it done on this drive. The holes have been large, and they've been barreling through and picking up first downs.
And this is caught. It's Cooper. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. 2nd and 2. His pass caught at the 4. And he'll get this down inside the 5 to the 4 before he's out of bounds. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up 1st and goal.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
And this play doesn't go anywhere. Backwards, losing yardage to the 11. That really sets them back. A loss of 6.
The short field shrinks even more with the type of bodies they brought in on that play. Those extra tight ends, they weren't able to secure their blocks, and that one ended up going backwards.
They'll try again with Elliott. And it's been like this all night long. Nowhere to run as they stop him behind the line. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect. Nothing doing there as the 13th play of the drive proves to be unlucky. And for the 2nd time tonight, his field goal unit comes out here. And the 12-year veteran knocks it right through, and that will get the disadvantage now back down to 11. So he missed that field goal earlier, but he says not this time. Able to knock it through, give his guys 3.
I like his poise. I like his confidence, his belief in himself. Sometimes when you miss that first one, you see a lot of guys sag, and they can't make the next one. Not in this case. Stepped right up like a pro.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've got to right the ship. They had a great first half, but the lead has really gone down. Now, you always talk about the adjustment to the adjustment. They've got to adjust right here.
And I think a lot of it is just mentally. Get back to doing what you were doing well in the beginning of the game, but a lot of that is playing with that emotion and that sense of pride and fire that sometimes goes away a little bit when you build up a lead. You think you've got it going, and you also think at any moment I can go ahead and go back to the way it was before. You and I both know it's not that easy once you get off the gas a little.
Yeah, they don't want to see this lead diminish anymore.
25.
Again, it's Kamara. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. 10 yards and a Seattle first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
First down, Seahawks.
On the ground, this is Kamara. And he's got this one across midfield into Cowboy territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. And I think we can get used to seeing more of that in this 4th quarter, especially if they're having success on the ground like they did there.
Yeah, I think back when we met with the head coach in preseason, and all he talked about was building a bully. And I think it was this situation he was envisioning. Trying to ice a game, plenty of time left, but being able to give the ball to his big runner and pound away and try and finish off a game.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 21 yards.
I think we're seeing the effect that runs like that are starting to have on this game. They're a little bit slower, that front 7, reacting to the football, almost like body blows in boxing. Slowing them down, and they're really starting to take over in this game.
On first down, this is Geis. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. If nothing else, they've already taken a couple minutes off the clock here already as they come up 2nd down.
Switch. Good job right there. Fourteen, got it.
The busy night continues for Kamara. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 12. The Seahawks on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12.
54 is Mike. Check. Watch 54.
Hey, watch the ball.
They go play action with Wilson. Steps away. He can run for it, and he will. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now 4th down. So out now is the Seattle field goal team. From the left hash, it's a 36-yard attempt. And his kick is indeed good, and that will get the lead up to 14. So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but it's still 8 up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Now the Cowboys offense heads back onto the field. And tough to win games if you're going field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
They're looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder and puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on 2nd down.
Watch the boot. Right there. 54.
Here's a 2nd and 7. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from it. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Looking deep and got his man complete. Give him 32 on the play. You're at the point in the game right now where you got to start taking some chances, and that chance paid off.
And it's a good idea to be that aggressive because, truthfully, the defensive guys, they're just playing not to make a mistake. That often means you can make a big play against them.
Back to throw here. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Cooper was the target there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Line of scrimmage, again the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Trying for Cooper again. This time he finds him. 8 yards on the completion, but now they face 3rd down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. That's incomplete, but there is a flag down, so hang on. A big call coming on 3rd down. Well, you won't hear any boos from this home crowd on that call.
No, not at all. And it's been a long day for this crowd. Waiting for this game. It's been a long evening as well. Finally, they feel they got a call.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. But I believe a Cowboy was there to get it. He was, and Dallas will maintain possession. Now back to throw. And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
It is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. You probably talked about this training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, there, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know, it
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
They had to go to the monitor, get an extra look. That's what the technology is for, and this touchdown will count. Extra point splits the uprights, and now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all, and it culminates in a Dallas touchdown. So there is still time, a little over 50 seconds to go, but this becomes a critical onside kick. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. The offense and Alvin Kamara heading back onto the field. And as the numbers show, he really wasn't in the mix at the beginning, but they've got him in the rotation now, and it's proved a good move.
And that's what happens when you're a good player. There's a lot more attention drawn to you. And it's obvious that they had him in their game plan on defense, not letting him get off to a good start, but he's found a way so far here in the second half.
380. Mike 5-4. Keep it up, defense. Keep it up, guys.
A give to Kamara running right. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game.
54 Mike.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home, y'all. Let's make these babies cry all the way back home.
Out, 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 out. Gotta go, in and out. Let's go. Flip.
They'll run with Geis. And I think this defense knew what was coming, as he is smothered behind the line. The Cowboys going to use their second timeout now, as they'll stop it with 40 seconds remaining in this fourth quarter. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. The Cowboys signal for their third and final timeout as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game.
Big stop, G. Big stop.
Down to a knee one more time, and that should just about do it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. But, Charles, a one-score game. Down to the end we went. They had one final play in that one-score game. We all knew what was coming. The Hail Mary, they just couldn't get it done.
Wasn't exactly complicated, was it? We all knew, as you said, and go long and see if we can find someone open. They didn't get it done. Someone's happy. Someone is not.
So for the Seahawks, they continue to make their case for the playoffs as they move to 9-3. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Dallas, it's another week with more questions than answers as they fall.